everybody, welcome back to Starkey Form Says. So some of you asked me, would I tackle Project 2025? I'll do you one better. I'll link where you can go to the actual Project 2025 website and you can do your own research. But I will do a couple of notes for you guys that are interested. Now, here's the thing. No president has been part of this, okay? So I know that they try really hard to attach Project 2025 to Trump, but it's not his. He didn't have anything to do with this. This was done in 2022 before anybody said, hey, I'm running for office, okay? So that is a mainstream media and left lie. It is not true. It's not factual in any way. Start with border policies. It does say that we should finish the border wall. It does say that we should restore the Remain in Mexico legislation. It says that we should be following the laws of our land. Now, here's the thing, folks. If you don't like the current laws of our land, we have a system for you to change those. But see, we can't be a country that follows laws when we choose to and don't follow laws when we don't choose to. That makes us lawless, and nobody wants that. This is the stopping the sustainable push for growing food. As an organic grower, you would think that I would be against this, but let me explain something to you guys. Converting to a no-till, sustainable organic garden was difficult. It took 2 years of production before I actually began to produce a good amount of food. So my point is, you can't expect American farmers to swap a program overnight or within 1 year or even 2 or 3 years and still have affordable food for American citizens. So we need to think through that one. The next one is drilling for oil. We should stop funding NGOs that push this fanatical climate change when we all know why the climate's so crazy, right? Unelected bureaucrats' power. Who has a problem with that? Who actually has a problem with that? Putting the president and Congress back in their rightful places. Again, getting rid of all of these federal groups, these alphabet groups. There's too many. When you've got that many people passing thousands of pages of legislation yearly, nothing actually gets done. So it is a reduction in the federal government. It's not destroying it. It's simply reducing it and putting it back under the Constitution's power by only allowing elected officials to have power, folks. That's a good thing. Critical race theory, CRT, and gender ideology from public school systems. Any right-thinking human can see the good in that. Now, it also talks about making sure that every child has a choice which school they go to. It talks about dismantling the Department of Education and moving some of that back where it goes, the Department of Labor, the Department of Finance, like just downsizing and putting states back over what students learn. Because let me tell you something, what a child in South Louisiana needs to learn may be very different than what a child, say, in New York City needs to learn. And anybody that's ever taught kids and lived in different areas of this country truly understands that. Parents back over their children and not the other way around. Giving parents the rights to go into a school board meeting and say, no, we're not doing this, and not having to worry about the FBI coming to knock on your door. Even USA Today has admitted Donald Trump has nothing to do with Project 2025. No. They do not want to destroy the Constitution. They want to make sure that it is firmly established in a way that our government is ran, folks. Nobody wants to erase history. In fact, we'd like proper history taught to children. History about the Holocaust, history about slavery, because here's the thing, if you don't know history, you repeat it. So it is all false when they say they want to ban anything about slavery. That's ridiculous. Exactly is DEI. It's diversity, equity, inclusion. And here's my personal opinion on it. It's got no place. It's reverse racism. So we need to go back to whoever is best for the job gets the job. If you're being hired based off your religion, your sex, or your color over someone else, that's actually racist. It's actually kind of causes people to resent each other. And so what we need is, guys, we need the best. So you go in and you see somebody sitting in a position, the first thing you don't think of is, oh, wow, I hope that they're not a DEI hire, right? When the Supreme Court felt it had the power to override state laws, that is part of what Project 2025 is trying to do, is fix that. Louisiana had a law that if you hurt a child sexually if that child was under the age of 13, then you could get the death penalty in the state of Louisiana. And now that law was there for many, many years until the Supreme Court overruled it. Well, see, that's the thing about corporal punishment. Sometimes it's not enough. Sometimes what that person has done is so heinous. It's so demonic. It's not something that they're ever going to feel regret for or even change their ways on, okay? So returning the death penalty to states, not the federal government, but to individual states for individual punishments is part of what Project 2025 actually wants. 2025 want to get rid of IVF? No. Does 2025 want a total ban on abortion? No.
Different than that. Their game plan is titled Project 2025. And there's several big pieces of this that are going to impact you. An abortion ban, taking away your right to make decisions about your body. They are going to threaten IVF and infertility treatments. But they're not satisfied with that. Now they're going to start monitoring pregnancies. This part, raising costs for you. So the first thing they're going to do is they talk about slashing taxes, but for billionaires. Add 20% to everything that you buy. They want to get rid of overtime protections. And then, of course, the last one on here, unchecked power. Put folks in the Pentagon that are loyal to them. Medicine and disease. He's talking about putting people in who deny that those things happen. Gutting our public schools, undermining programs like Head Start. That's their goal. Putting in people who put Donald Trump above the Constitution.
Getting rid of school lunches for children. False. Getting rid of the Department of Education. True. So I think what's happened is you get a lot of liberals that look at this and they panic. They immediately think that we want to cut every federal program, that we want to see everything dismantled and, all the power be given to one group. Actually, we don't. We want to see the checks and balances that the Constitution and the Bill of Rights put in place. We want to see it play out the way it's meant to. So we want to see the legislative, the executive, and the judicial branches of the federal government work like they're supposed to work. Right now, everything in America is out of balance. That's what you're feeling. You're feeling the chaos because unelected bureaucrats in the back are having their voices heard for people like you and I. I actually saw a comment made by the White House press secretary where she said, well, don't worry about Biden. There's a group of people that are helping him. And people don't have a problem with that. See, that group of people weren't elected. You don't know who they are. You don't know who they are. You elected Biden, supposedly. And that's who should be running the country. And if he couldn't, he should have been taken out and the vice president put in. That's why it's so important that you really consider who you're going to vote for president in the United States. Because when you look at Kamala Harris, what happens if she can't finish her term? Who are you going to get? Walz. You guys heard about what's come out about that man? So if Trump can't finish his presidency, who do you get? Vance, who I actually think will be amazing. I'm just saying, folks, it's not some demonic pact of crazed old white men that made this. This was actually created from 100 different conservative think tanks and constitutional attorneys and everything, going back to the Constitution. If you want to save America, then you should be excited about Project 2025. It's only going to make your life better. God bless you guys. Love y'all. Good night.